Folks, if you've lived in the upstate of South Carolina for any amount of time, you know that Clemson University is more than just a school. It's an institution, an economic engine for the area, for the region, and a point of pride for the entire state of South Carolina. So when Clemson's president suddenly announces that he's retiring effective December 31st, well, that kind of shakes things up a bit. Jim Clements, he's led Clemson for 12 years now. He sent out a letter yesterday saying that he's stepping down to, quote, focus on his health and his family. And listen, anytime a leader cites health and family, we want to be gracious. We wish him well. But let's also be honest with each other here. The timing could not be more curious for a lot of people. Mr. Clements' contract was just extended last year through 2029. His compensation package totaled around 1.5 million annually. Presidents do not walk away from that kind of arrangement unless something is pushing them, sort of pulling them away, or maybe both. And when you look at Clemson's last 12 months, the pressure points kind of start to reveal themselves. It's been a rough year for a university that's used to smooth sailing. So let's start with some of the basics. Clemson took a $58 million hit in federal research funding. Now, that was a gut punch for a major R1 university. That forced leadership to impose a spending freeze this year just to maintain the school's bonding rating. Now, that alone would stress any president out. You got faculty demanding money, you got departments needing resources, donors wondering, well, why is the university suddenly tightening its belt? Add to that the national controversy over the firing of two assistant professors. You remember this? We talked about it many times. They posted online about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Mr. Clements was under enormous political and donor pressure to act, and he did. To his credit, he took action. But the backlash from faculty and activists, First Amendment attorneys, national media turned Clemson into a flashpoint. One professor even sued. Universities don't like lawsuits. Trustees like them even less. Then, of course, there's Clemson football. Normally the school's pride and joy. A 7-5 season after starting ranked number 4 doesn't help the general mood around the campus or among donors. So, which one of these reasons, or is a culmination of these reasons, that Clement resigned? Maybe none of them, because there's one more crack in the foundation of confidence. But, folks, all of that pales in comparison, all those issues that we just covered, to the Nuri project scandal. And this, maybe, is where speculation becomes more speculation. This may very well be the elephant in the room. So, what is the Newry project? Let's walk through that as we know it, and what raises these serious questions. The Newry project is an absolutely massive development. 5,200 residential units on 600 acres of land in Oconee County. It's just a few miles from Clemson University. Early drafts of the plan included everything from commercial development to, get this, a Clemson satellite campus. A campus the university said it knew nothing about, or at least publicly when asked. That alone made people uneasy. But then it got messier. It was revealed that President Jim Clements and Clemson trustee Nikki Haley both sat on the board of United Housing Group, the very firm with ties to the development group behind the project. Now, pause right there. When the president of Clemson University and one of the most politically powerful figures in the state are sitting on a board connected to a developer pushing a project that could dramatically reshape an entire region, folks, that raises some eyebrows. And it raised them instantly in Oconee County, where political leaders began publicly questioning whether there was a conflict of interest. Mr. Clements and Ms. Haley both denied any involvement. They said the company board work had nothing to do with the Newry project. But then they both resigned suddenly from the United Housing Group board of directors on October the 20th, voluntarily, quickly, and silently. Well, maybe not so silently, because the officials in Oconee County made sure everyone knew. And now, less than 2 months later, Mr. Clements is resigning from Clemson. Now, I'm not saying one caused the other, but I am saying this. It would be irresponsible not to ask whether the Nuri scandal contributed to this sudden departure. So let's remember the scale of what was underway. $1 billion real estate vision, potentially. pressure on Clemson to expand, politically connected developers, outrage from local residents, public accusations of possible conflicts of interest, and a president caught in the middle. You mix political heat with donor pressure, media investigations, a lawsuit brewing from fired faculty, major financial cuts, and a football program that, well, just didn't do quite so good this week. That's a storm cloud any leader would struggle to weather. So, does that mean Mr. Clements was forced out? We don't know. Does it mean the board nudged him? Maybe. Does it mean the Newry scandal hurt his credibility inside and outside the university? Probably to a degree. And here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to keep in mind. Clemson's Board of Trustees called an emergency meeting for this week to appoint an interim president. They're recommending Provost Bob Jones, who was planning to retire. They want to delay his retirement and let him take the wheel. Emergency meetings are not everyday events in higher education. You don't scramble the board unless the president is leaving faster than expected. You need immediate stability, and there's more going on behind the scenes, maybe than the public statements reveal. Let me share what I'm hearing from folks close to the academic world. Clemson wants to clean the slate before 2026, before fundraising season, before the Nuri controversy grows, and this is probably only going to add fuel to the fire, before faculty tensions spill further into the media as well, before lawmakers start asking tougher questions as they go back into session in January. A sudden retirement solves a lot of problems quietly and quickly. Now, let's give credit where it's due. President Clements has done a lot for Clemson over his 12 years. He's grown enrollment, strengthened the national brand. He's built up the endowment, $1 billion. He's been a steady, upbeat face for the university. But leadership, unfortunately, sometimes is not judged in seasons of calm. It's judged in the storms. And this past year has been the perfect storm. As we look ahead, the big question becomes, who does Clemson look like without Jim Clements? Does Clemson slow its push to expand? Does the Nuri project survive? Does it come back? Does the university retreat from political landmines, or do they double down? And who steps up to lead at a moment this consequential? A new president will be chosen in 2026. You can bet donors, lawmakers, business leaders, the entire Upstate will be paying very close attention, because this resignation is not just about one man stepping down. It's about the direction of Clemson University and the tone, the priorities, and accountability we expect going forward. For now, we say thank you, President Jim Clements, for your years at Clemson University and for your service. We watch very closely what comes next. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit the like button, drop a comment below, email me, joe@joeyhudson.com, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more clear, no-spin breaking news and commentary. I'm Joey Hudson. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.